Hello there guys, Morphin Reviewer 97 here, and I'm back with another Power Rangers figure review. So this time I'm going to be reviewing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers flipheads. So I've got all the flipheads here, even the other second Rangers that came in later on in the season. But basically in this review I'll just show you what each figure looks like, and then we'll get on to the articulation of each figure. So to start off with, we'll just start off usual, the Mastodon. So as you can see, we've got the Mastodon here, the Black Ranger, pretty cool. So I do have both Black Rangers. I have Adam and Zach, but as you can see, there's this Black Ranger. Got the chest piece there, the dinosaur. Helmet sculpt looks pretty good, as you can see. So I'm just showing you the detail right now. Looks like the actual Ranger suit and everything else from the show, which is good. It's a nice black paint. You've got all the diamonds in the right places and on the boots and stuff, so that's kind of cool. The only thing is, it didn't actually have that dinosaur chest piece in the show, so if that wasn't there, this figure would have been pretty show accurate. Yeah, since that's there, it's not quite show accurate, but you know, it makes the figure look cool enough as well. Fills that gap a bit. But there's the helmet again. Pretty cool. So obviously the articulation on this figure I'll just show you now. It's pretty much going to be the same on each one, but I will show you the articulation for each figure. But to start off with, you can move the arms basically around an entire 360. They do bend at the elbow, as you can see there. The wrist doesn't really move, so that's the only articulation really on the arm. Same with the other arm. The legs, you can sort of move about that much forward. You can't really move them any back. They're just about that far back, so you can move them that far forward. And then this sort of bends at the knee here. There's a little joint, so you can bend it sort of at the knee. So there's the articulation really on the legs. Now the main feature of this and all these figures is of course the flip head feature. So right now we've got it as a Black Ranger. So to flip the head, all you have to do is hold this down here and it'll open up the latches just like that, and you just flip the head manually just like that. And as you can see, this one is Zach. So pretty cool figure. Again, these figures don't really look too much like the actual people, the actors from the show, but they did their best, I suppose, to make them look as show accurate as they could. But they got the hair and everything right on Zach. Looks pretty nice. Just get a bit closer there for you. There we go. And hopefully you can see this as well. The light isn't the best in my room, but hopefully you can see the figure as well. But there's the face of Zach, and to flip him, all you do is just basically press back on the buckle here, and that buckle part's just here. So if you flip that up, it'll flip the head like so. So that is kind of cool. I do like that about the flip head figures. But yeah, there was Zach, the Black Ranger. If I just do a side by side. So there's what he looked like in the show, his costume. And I'll do a normal mode as well. So there's what he looked like with his normal helmet off. Pretty cool. So there's that figure. Awesome. Now each of these figures as well does come with their own weapon, so I'll just show you that. So the Black Ranger did come with his power axe. All the weapons are in a grey plastic, but there's the power axe there. And they do also come as well with their own blade blaster, and they're white painted, so there's the blade blaster there. Now I do have all the blade blasters for every Ranger, but I don't have the secondary like weapons for the black, yellow and red Rangers. So I've only got I have two of the power sword, but I don't have two power daggers or the power axe. So I'm missing one power axe and one power dagger set for the yellow and black Ranger. But yeah, let's move on to the next figure now anyway. So here we have the secondary Black Ranger. It's going to be the same design, so I'm not really going to go into too much detail, but as you can see it's still a nice black paint. There's slight yellowing starting to happen on these figures because of how old they are, but I did get them all second hand. That's why I'm missing a couple of pieces, but kind of cool again. Helmet sculpt, the exact same. It's pretty much the exact same figure as the original one, except they've just changed the head inside. So it's got all the same articulation, as you can see. All the same articulation. So yeah, same way to change the figure. Just open it up like so. Flip it round. And there we have Adam, the second Black Ranger. So I'll just show you his face there. Hope you get some good detail. Got a better camera to focus on the figures. But there we go, there's his face. So we'll do a side by side of him. But yeah, basically it's the same way. You just flip down on the buckle and he morphs. Pretty cool. So there's another side by side with the normal Black Ranger next to him. And then here's him in his civilian form with the Ranger costume still on. So there we go, there's an image from the show compared to this figure. So there was that second figure. Again, the way the blade blasters and stuff clip in is there's just like pegs on the figures themselves. So if you can see there, in the hand itself, you got like a small peg, and that just basically attaches to the hole on the blade blaster, like so. And you can have him holding his blade blaster like that. So they are quite securely in there, which is good. So there was that figure. The power weapons work in the exact same way. So yeah, they work in the exact same way. They've got small holes in the power weapons, as you can see. But pretty cool. Now we'll move on to the Pink Ranger. Now I only have one Pink Ranger, as I don't think they ever made a cat figure for the Pink Ranger for the flip head. So I've just got Kimberly here. But again, we'll go through the detail and stuff. So it's a nice pink paint, quite bright. Of course it's brighter pink in some places because it's dulling from time, the colour. But the helmet sculpt and that all look really nice. They do look pretty show accurate except for that chest piece part. But there's her chest piece anyway, if you can see that. It's a pterodactyl. And there's her helmet sculpt. Pretty cool. Got some good detail considering how small the figures are. But really nice. So there's that. Basically the same articulation as of the Black Ranger. So you got 360 in the arms. You can bend them at the elbow. The head doesn't spin at all because of the flip head feature. The legs, of course, can move that forward that much, and they can bend back that much. So they can't really bend back at all. But you've got the same bend in the knee as well there. So there's the articulation for that. Now let's flip it. So flip it same way, just put down the buckle and flip the Ranger head manually. And there's Kimberly. Not too bad in detail. Again, they don't really look too much like the figures, or too much like the actors from the show. But they did their best. As you can see, Kimberly's still got her bow in her hair. Pretty cool. And there's that figure, if you get a good look there. Pretty cool. Now let's flip it. So to flip it again, just press down on the back buckle. And there we go. Sometimes they do to get stuck, but just keep on pulling it and it will flip. But pretty cool. There's a Pink Ranger. Let's move pretty fast. Now on to the other figures. To speed up this review a bit, because I don't want this review to be too long for you guys. See if we can make Pink Ranger stand. Some of these figures sometimes are harder to stand. But here's Blue Ranger, my favourite Ranger from the series. His chest piece there. Awesome. Some of the chest pieces might be scraped off a little because they are second hand. But this one's quite a nice blue. It's quite a bright blue, as you can see. All the right colours again. Diamonds look quite nice. There's the back. The only thing with these figures is they have a lot of screw holes, which I don't like on the figures. But other than that, it's a nice blue colour. Diamonds are all cool. But same articulation again. move the arms 360, can bend at the elbow. Head doesn't move at all. The legs of course can move that much forward and can't really move back at all. And then you can bend them at the knee. So there's all the articulation. Now I forgot to mention, on each figure they do actually have a holster there for the blade blaster. So you can actually put the blade blaster inside there if you wanted to, just like that, which is really cool if you want them on display. It's easier for the weapons end. But there is the Blue Ranger's articulation. Now to flip him. So the helmet itself, I'll just show you that real quick because I haven't shown you that yet. Really cool. The helmets are pretty show accurate considering how small they are. So I'll give them on the helmets. The helmets do look quite show accurate. Pretty cool. There we go. And there's a comparison to what his Ranger costume looked like on the show. And now if we flip him, here is Billy's face. Pretty cool. Now I think Billy's does look the most accurate to what he looked like in the show. His is probably the best looking one for just the normal head sculpt. Pretty cool. There's that one. Really cool. To flip him, same thing again. Just press down on the belt buckle. And he flips like so. I'll just do a comparison. So that's what he looked like in his when he had his helmet off in the show to the figure. Awesome. I don't think I did that with the Pink Ranger, so I'll just do that real quick. So Pink Ranger comparison. So that's what she looked like in the show. And then that's an image of what she looked like with her helmet off. So I just thought I would do that just in case I missed it. But if I didn't miss it, then there won't be any images there. But if it did, of course there'll be images put on. Next is yellow, so we've got the first Yellow Ranger here. Again, the colours are really nice for these figures. They do match the colour quite well. So this is a really nice bright yellow. But as you can see, all the figures are going to be pretty much the same, except for a different colour, and the helmet sculpt's going to be a little bit different. But they've got the same like sort of chest piece again, just with a different dinosaur on the front. So hers should be the saber-toothed tiger, if you can see there. Again, pretty cool detail. Just the screws at the back, there's a lot of them. But it's a nice yellow. Diamonds all look pretty nice. Same articulation. 360 in the arm again. Bend at the elbow. The legs move that much forward again. They can't really move back at all. And then you got sort of like the bend in the knee, so you can bend the knee. So you can sort of put these in sort of poses, but not too many poses. There's the helmet sculpt anyway, the Yellow Ranger. Pretty cool. Does look like quite show accurate. There we go. And I'll just show you a comparison. So there's a comparison to a suit in the show. Pretty cool. And let's flip this now. So here we have Trini, and that's her head. So again, it doesn't look too much like her, but they did their best, I guess, their best job. There's that one. And here's a comparison to what she looked like with her helmet off in the show. Pretty cool. And then flip it again, press the belt buckle down, and it flips just like so. So these figures do really flip quite well. When I bought them second hand, I was worried that they weren't going to flip too much because of how old they were going to be. But I picked these up quite a while ago. There's the second Yellow Ranger, same again, same detail. It's got the saber-toothed tiger on the front again. Pretty much the exact same figure as the other one. It's just the different head sculpt. So the articulation is going to be the same, so I won't really get into that. But there's the helmet again there. And there's the... that's what it looks like. And there's a comparison to the show again. It's going to be the same image, because it's the same Ranger. But it's going to be a bit of a different head sculpt, so there's the head sculpt. And that's meant to be Aisha. So pretty cool. You got like the bow in the back of the hair. But yeah, not a bad figure overall. There's a comparison to what she looked like with her helmet off. Pretty cool. Now let's flip this. There we go. There is Yellow Ranger. And now moving on to Red Ranger now. If we can get this one to stand. So I've got the Red Ranger here. Pretty cool colour again. Quite a nice red colour. Really bright. But pretty much there's the look with the figure. There's the chest piece there. Again, that wasn't in the show, but they put them on the figures, I suppose, to fill that gap. But again, doesn't look too bad. There's not a lot of yellowing on this figure, which I like, so it is still quite a nice white colour. But there's the helmet itself, if I just show you that. There we go. Pretty cool. Looks quite show accurate. Articulation on this is going to be the same as the others, so you can move the arms entire 360, just like that. They do bend at the elbow, if I can show you that. They do bend at the elbow. The legs can move that much forward, of course, and they can't really move back at all, but they do bend at the knee as well. So there's the articulation. Pretty awesome. Now the head sculpt of this, if I just show you, flip this round. There's Jason. Doesn't look too bad, but there we go. There's that figure. Pretty cool. Sorry if you hear any talking in the background, but there we go. Now let's flip him. Pretty cool. He got stuck a little there, but still flips. So there's his Ranger costume, what it looked like in the show. And then let's flip this round again. And there's his, what he looked like basically in the show with his helmet off, compared to the figure. Pretty cool. So there we go, there was that figure. Okay guys, so let's move on to the next Red Ranger now. There might have been a jump cut there because some of the figures dropped, so I had to re-put them back up. But there's the second Red Ranger. Again, it's going to be the exact same figure on the outside, look-wise. It's the exact same sculpt. It's just the head really on each figure that's changed. Chest piece again, exactly the same. But there we go. It's going to have the same articulation again, so I won't really show you that. But it's got the holster there at the side and stuff. I'll show you the Ranger weapons later on. But there's that Ranger, pretty cool. There's his helmet there, again. There's a comparison to what he looked like in the show. Pretty cool. So now if we flip this one's Rocky. And Rocky doesn't look too bad. So it doesn't look too bad there. And there's a comparison to what he looked like in the show, with his helmet off. Really decent. And this flips the exact same way. There we go. Pretty cool. Now the flip heads are cool because if you wanted to do like a stop motion thing or something with the figures, it's cool because you could have a Morphin. So that's pretty awesome. So the two other figures now is obviously the Green and White Ranger, Tommy. So we've got the Green Ranger here. Pretty cool. Got a nice chrome dragon shield. Some nice gold chrome, which is really shiny. It's quite a nice green. Some of the joints are a little bit loose because of just time and stuff. But it's quite a nice green there. There's his helmet sculpt. Not too bad there. Pretty cool. So that's what his helmet looks like. The diamonds and everything else are all going to be in the same place. It doesn't look too bad. And there's what he looked like in the show. So for comparison. Now to flip this figure, we have to take the dragon shield off, so it is removable. So it just clips off from the back just like that, and it comes in two separate pieces, just like that. So put them there. And then you can always have it off if you wanted to as well. This did used to have the dragon symbol underneath. It's a little bit scratched off, but as you can see there. So to flip him, simple way, same again. You just flip the head like so, and there's Tommy's head there. Doesn't look too bad. His hair goes all the way back like that. So not too bad of a figure there. Pretty cool. So that's what he looked like with his helmet off, if I can find a picture. Pretty cool figure. And then to flip it, same way again. And it flips like so. So now let's just put the shield back on. You just clip it on just like so. So you just put one piece on the back, and there's two pegs that connect. There we go. And we can put that figure there. Pretty cool. Okay guys, so let's move on to the White Ranger now. So the White Ranger itself, as you can see. Now the only part I'm missing on this actual whole set is the White Ranger shield as well. So this is what his shield would have looked like. So I'll just get a picture up there. So that's what I'm missing from this figure. But other than that, the figure itself doesn't look too bad. The white again is a tiny bit yellowish because it is yellowing over age, but the helmet sculpt and all that doesn't look too bad. The White Ranger himself doesn't actually have any diamonds on him. He just has these like wristband things here. Because of course he was a different ranger compared to the other ones in the show. He was a unique ranger. But there we go. I believe he was from Die Ranger. He was a ranger from Die Ranger and not Ranger. So he was in Mighty Morphin Season 2. Pretty cool head sculpt, or helmet sculpt as I should say. Articulation wise, it's going to be the exact same. So you got 360 in the arms there. You can bend them at the elbow, of course, just like that. Again on this side, same again, of course. There we go. Legs, of course, can move that much forward. Can't really move back at all, probably about that much. And then the legs bend, or the knees, as I should say, the knees bend. So there's the articulation on that figure. So I'll just do a comparison. So that's what the figure looks like, and there's the one from the actual show. Of course I'm missing the shield, but that's what that looks like. Now for the helmet sculpt, or the head sculpt. It's pretty much the exact same as the Green Ranger. They didn't really change the head sculpt, so it's the same head as the previous Green Ranger that I just showed. So there's that one. And if I can find a picture of the White Ranger with his helmet off, that's what he looked like in the show compared to this figure. So there we go. Pretty cool. And to flip this, you just simply flip it like so. There we go. Quite nice flip on these figures. Now the only difference between this and the other ones is the holster's a bit different. So it's a green colour and it's sort of like a bit shorter. But there we go. Of course the Green and White Rangers I don't think had blade blasters. I know the Green Ranger didn't because he had his Dragon Dagger, and I don't think the White Ranger did because he had Saber, but all the other Rangers did. But these do come with the blade blasters for every Ranger, including the Green and White. But let's get on to the weapons now. So we've got all the weapons here. Really I'll just show you the one blade blaster because all the blade blasters are the exact same. They're all just a white plastic. But the detail on them is quite nice. If you had good painting skills you could probably paint these to look like what they looked like in the show. But really cool, they've got all the detail there. Really awesome. So let's start off with, let's say the Dragon Dagger for the Green Ranger. So here's the Dragon Dagger for the Green Ranger. Just show you all the weapons real quick. You can see that. There we go. Pretty cool. Now all of them have good detail. They're just all going to be one colour. It would have been nice if they were all the colour representing the show, but obviously that would have been probably too much work for them. There's the power axe. Pretty cool. Now these weapons do a unique thing, and I'll show you that in a minute. Power bow for the Pink Ranger. There's that one. Power lance for the Blue Ranger. Not bad. Now this does actually separate the power lance, just like that, into two separate pieces, like you could do in the show. And it's just held by pegs. I can just show you there. It's just held by the pegs, and they just clip in. So there's the power lamps. Power daggers, they are pretty small, but you do get two of them there. I'll just show you that. Pretty cool. Red Ranger's power sword. So again, all these weapons do have pretty good detail. They're just all painted the same colour, which is kind of a shame, but you can understand why they did it. And of course his saber. Pretty cool. The face sculpt itself for Saber is a little bit detailed, but it's not too much. I can just let that focus a little bit if that does. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. There's Saber. Now the unique thing is, the Dragon Dagger and Saber, they're just solo weapons, so they can just stay by themselves. But you can actually combine the other power weapons for the 5 original Rangers, just like they did in the show. So I can show you that right now. So there we go guys, there is the Power Blaster. Now this was a really cool thing that this unique set of flip head figures could do. So if you get all the flip heads, you could create the Power Blaster. So that makes up for a couple of things. But really awesome that you can make the Power Blaster. And one of the Rangers can actually hold this as well, because it's got a peg down here that one of the Rangers can actually hold in their hand. I'll show you that real quick if I can. So let's try and do this. It's kind of awkward to get it in, but once you do, the Ranger can hold it just like so. Pretty awesome there. So there we go guys. There's all the figures reviewed. Let's take this out, otherwise he's going to fall down again. There's that. So I hope you enjoyed this review. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. This is Morphin Reviewer 97 signing out, and I will see you in my next review. Okay everybody, so I was just about to pack up my review and I forgot to mention some things in the review, so I just thought I would put them at the end. Basically, there was another set of flip heads released, but them figures were pretty much the exact same flip heads as these. The Green Ranger wasn't included, but it was pretty much the exact same flip heads, but chromed out. So the Red Ranger had like a red chrome, Blue Ranger had blue chrome and stuff like that. Also these figures, like the actual name for them on the box was Morphin figures, but everybody calls them flip heads. And also they've brought out last year, or at the start of this year I believe, the Legacy flip heads. So they've re-released the flip heads as Legacy versions. So it's like the same original box, same figure, just Legacy. Which is pretty cool. I know they've done one for the Red Ranger, Green Ranger, and I believe Pink Ranger as well, but they haven't done any of the others yet. But just thought I would add this to the end of the review. Thanks for watching.